Hi, my name is Elena. I am a mixed media artist. I have been making art consistently for the last 7 years and I have over 20-year art experience. Today I will be sharing with you my tips on how to stop painting before you ruin your art. You know the feeling, you are deep in the zone and the colors are just singing and the composition is clicking and you're getting that incredible feeling inside that you just pure enjoy from creating something you're actually really proud of. And then that little voice in your head whispers, just one more touch, maybe a little bit detail there, and you feel that all too familiar knot form in your stomach. We've all been there. That's a terrifying moment, right? Before you might just ruin your own art by overworking it. That feeling, that's your artist's intuition screaming at you, just stop. So in this video, I'm going to share the secret signals your gut sends when it's time to put your brush down before it's too late. So many artists say that paintings get muddy and overworked, and it happens almost everybody right after piece hits its peak. And we're going to demystify that gut feeling and turn it out into a reliable tool so you can finish every single painting with confidence. At the end of this video, I will be adding my most powerful personal tip, so watch until the end. The fear of overworking a painting is absolutely paralyzing. It's how your colors turn into mud. Your brush strokes lose all the energy and expressiveness, and a potential masterpiece becomes a stiff, lifeless thing that you just want to hide in the closet. That happens. We can stop making confident, purposeful marks and start endlessly dabbing at a section just hoping for some magical effect to appear. And the line between almost there and the way too far is rather thin. And crossing it's just heartbreaking. But what if you could learn to see that line before you step over it? Well, that's the promise of today. Knowing when to stop is the skill that just like mixing colors or learning perspective or drawing. It's part trusting your instincts and part using a few practical tricks to see your work with fresh eyes. So we're going to break down that instinct into 5 clear, actionable signals. Think of them not as rigid rules, but as powerful guideposts that will help you to listen to your art and know that certainly when your work is truly done. The signal number 1, step back. The first and maybe the most powerful signal is that I call the step back signal. It's incredibly simple. Take a few steps back from your easel, as far back as you possibly can, and just look. If you can stand for a full minute, no single area immediately bothers you, or scream for attention, that is a massive sign that you might be finished. When you're painting, we usually inches from the canvas, totally lost in the weeds. Up close, we can fuss over tiny things no one else would ever notice. Stepping back forces you to see the paintings as whole piece. Suddenly, the overall composition and value structure become clear. You're not looking at individual brush strokes anymore. You are looking at the complete picture. A great way to test this is once you think you are done, put the painting somewhere you will see throughout the day. Not in a hallway where you just walk past, but in a room where you glance at it from different angles. If after a couple of days you still feel good about it and nothing is jumping out as a major flaw, trust that feeling. The painting is telling you it is resolved. If you find those tips useful so far, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell on to join me on my artistic adventure. And please check my art gallery at elenaleclaire.com. Signal number 2, the one thing rule. Signal number 2 is a mental checklist I call the one thing rule. It boils down to one simple but profound question. Can I name one specific thing that will definitely make this painting better? If your answer is where they just need something, or you find yourself just wanting to push paint around without a clear goal, you are officially in the danger zone. Overworking happens when our intention disappears. If you can say exactly what's wrong and how you plan to fix it, any more work is just pure guesswork. And guesswork is how good paintings go bad. An artist once said, you should stop when you can't see a clear way to improve the painting. If you can make a move that you know will push the painting forward, you are most likely make a lateral move that doesn't actually help, or worse, a move that takes it backward. So before you dip that brush again, ask yourself, what is the one thing I'm about to do? If you have a specific answer like, I need to pop a highlight on over there, the shadow needs to be a little bit darker, or I have to create more depth, so go ahead and make the change. But if you just get a non-committal shrug in your mind, your gut is telling it's time to just walk away. So I am curious, what's the hardest part for you when it comes to stopping? Is it the temptation to add more and more details, or that nagging fear that your work is just isn't good enough? Let me know down in the comments. Seriously, reading through everyone's experiences help our whole artist community. Signal number 3, the fresh eye test. Our brains get used to things fast. After staring at the same image for hours, we literally go blind to its flaws. Compositional problems, drawing mistakes, proportion mistakes, some kind of weird shapes and shadows become totally invisible. That's why our third signal is all about tricking your brain into seeing painting for the first time ever. I call this one the fresh eye test. First, the mirror test. Look at your painting's reflection in the mirror. This simple flip will make any wonky drawing or unbalanced composition leap out at you. A solid underlying structure is critical, and trust me, the mirror does not lie. Another great trick is to turn your painting upside down. Actually, I do this one all the time, like literally half of the time. This forces you to see the piece purely as a collection of abstract shapes and forms. Your brain cannot digest it. You are not distracted by the subject, so you can easily tell if one area feels too heavy or if your composition is off color. And finally, my personal favorite, take a photo of your paintings on your phone. And I don't know why, but seeing your work on a small screen detaches you from it and helps you to see more objectively. Here's a pro tip. Change that photo to black and white. This instantly removes color and lets you see if the value structure, the relationship between lights and dark. Is it working? If the painting looks flat or muddy in grayscale, your values probably need some work. If a painting works in black and white scale, it almost always works in color. Those little tricks are a little bit getting second opinion from you. Signal number 4, the essence check. Every painting starts with a spark, right? The joy, intuition, creative idea, initial idea of feeling that you want to capture. The 4th signal is about checking back in with your original goal. Is the essence check test. Ask yourself, does this painting capture the feeling of what I wanted to say, or the story I wanted to say? We often get lost in the technical stuff, fixing something, tweaking color, some shape, but we forget why we even started it. So it's really helpful to be clear from the concept to the beginning. What do you want to say? Now your focal point helps you focus on what truly matters and gives you permission to leave other areas loose and suggestive. A painting isn't finished when every single detail is rendered perfectly. It is finished when the emotional impact is there. If your goal was to capture the warmth, peaceful light of a sunset, and the painting feels warm and peaceful, you are done. Adding more detail, color might not add that feeling. In fact, it could just clutter it up and distract from it. Your painting is a collaboration with the viewer, so leave a little something for the imagination to do. If you look at your work and it says what you wanted to say, stop. Pushing past this point will only make the message foggy. Signal number 5, the emotional high cue. The last signal is the most intuitive one, but it might be the most important. It's what I call the emotional high cue. This is that jolt of excitement and satisfaction when you step back. You look at your work and you think, wow, oh wow, that's gut feeling that the painting feels right. Experienced artists will tell you that this all the time. Knowing when a painting is finished ultimately comes down to an inner sense of completion. If you have even the slightest inkling that the painting might be done, it probably is. That wow moment is often the painting's peak. The temptation is to chase that high by adding more, but this is the exact moment to stop. Ask yourself, will adding anything else really add more value to this? If the answer is no, you are not sure, it's time to put your brush down. This requires you to trust yourself. That gut feeling isn't random. It's your experience and artistic taste talking to you. As the artist, you are the only one who can truly declare a painting finished. So when you feel that rush of satisfaction, honor it. Let your signature be a very last touch or final act of closure and relief. Take pride at that moment. It's a huge accomplishment. Final tips. Sometimes painting can be fixed, regardless how much time you invest in it. So, all right, let's bring it all together. The 5 signals that your painting is telling you to stop are. Step number 1, step back rule. The step number 2, the fresh eye test. Step number 3, the essence check. And the step emotional high cue. Remember, those aren't laws. They're just tools to help you build and most importantly trust your own artistic intuition. The goal isn't to create a perfect painting. It's to know when a piece has found its voice and delivered its message. Honestly, sometimes the best way to finish a painting is to start a new one. Learn from every piece. Trust your gut and have the confidence to call your work finished. So think about it. Sometimes paintings can be fixed regardless how much time you invest in it. This is when it's time to just walk away from it. Otherwise, you're going to be spending all those hours on the painting that's dead, where you could create a much better and joyful piece. So every master has some artwork they're not really proud of. That happens to every artist. You are not alone in it. Don't obsess about it. Just start a new painting instead. That was part of your artistic journey. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you find those tips helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. And subscribe for more videos to help you master your art. And don't forget to check out other videos on loosening up your painting style right over there. Now go finish that masterpiece and know exactly when to walk away. Thank you for being a part of my art journey.